How Swiatek looks after not a great clay court season by her standards, but her standards are high. All right. In the meantime, we've still got Raducanu serving for the set. Let's see how it goes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Swiatek Sramkova, three-time defending champion, taking on a pretty dangerous player. I mean, Sramkova's had her moments over the last couple of years. So let's see if Swiatek can get back to her best. All right. Now, Raducanu is going to try and serve for this set. Again, she was up 5-2, 5-4, and she served for it, couldn't get it done. So let's see if she can get it the second time around. Rebecca should have won the set 6-2, but she's down 5-4. Oh no. We'll keep an eye on her as well. All right, 6-5. Raducanu leads. Oh, she got the trainer out, Raducanu, as well. All right, so the trainer is out for Raducanu. No surprise there. Fuck. All right. Don't tell me, chat. I don't want to hear it. So yeah, Raducanu's got the trainer out. Not sure why. If it's the back issue again. (6-5) Raducanu here. Yeah, Navarro lost. I mean, Navarro losing that badly that's harsh. I mean, that's an upset, but it's like, jeez. Like that scoreline, I know she was probably sick. Somebody said she was sick. But Navarro losing like that is like, that makes everybody question, like, do I know what I'm talking about? Do I know tennis at all? Like, what the hell was even that? Like, that's a scoreline that just makes you confused. Like, that's a confusing scoreline. Like, yeah, okay, maybe Minero's better on clay, but is she really that much better on clay? Or is Navarro that bad on clay? Not really. I mean, that's so confusing. That is such a confusing scoreline. It makes no sense, that score. It makes no sense. That's no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, that score. But again, if she was sick, you got to give Navarro some slack for that. WTA so unpredictable? Not really. Not usually. Not normal. Not this year. 2025, it's pretty predictable. But that is not a scoreline that I think anybody thought was going to happen to the world number 9 in the first round, less than an hour. But again, give it some slack if she was sick and she wasn't 100%. But that's really that's a confusing scoreline. All right, Swiatek. Let's see if she can avoid the same fate. I'm sure she will. There's a bit of fault from Sramkova, second serve. Eala beating Swiatek. That's not even, because Eala beating Swiatek, at least she beat Keys before that, and Penko, so you knew that Eala was on a run. Monero had, like... did Monero beat anybody? I mean, not saying that in a mean way, but like, who the hell did Monero beat before this week to make us think that she was a threat? Like, that one went way over our heads. Like, was she playing well? She lost to Tomljanovic in Rabat 6-1, 6-3. That isn't a match that I would be like, oh yeah, she was playing well. She lost to Svitolina a couple of times. She beat Sakkari, but we know that Sakkari's not been the best lately. She hasn't beaten anyone in the top, 30. So, where the hell did that come from? Minero's best win this year. She beat a Dajmeyer at the Billie Jean King Cup, but that was on a different surface. Sakkari, Noskova, Sharif. So, like, that was so out of pocket. That came out of nowhere. Chat, you can't look me in the eye and say, oh, yeah, I thought that Navarro would lose. Okay. What? All right. Swiatek at 30-15 here for Sramkova serving first. It's WTA. Bro, WTA in 2025 is not that unpredictable anymore. That is one of the... That might be upset of the year so far. One of the upsets of the year because that just came out of nowhere. And Navarro made the fourth round last year, so... Don't look at me and say that, oh yeah, Navarro doesn't play well on clay. Okay, yeah, so she made the fourth round last year by accident. 30-15. Navarro doesn't lose that badly. That's the thing. She's not like someone who just gets smacked. She fights for, at least to get games, you know? Crazy. Crazy score. Anyway, it's 40-15 Sramkova serving. Raducanu, by the way, has got like 4 doctors on court. Raducanu getting some treatment, just a checkup. She said, I think she must be feeling dizzy. I think she was referring to. And Sramkova hits it out. It's 40-30. Rebecca lost the second. No! Why is this happening? All right, Sramkova, 40-30. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Serve to the backhand of Swiatek. Sramkova backhand to the back of Swiatek into the front of Sramkova. Swiatek forehand again to the front of Sramkova. Into the back of Swiatek. Sramkova backhand on the stretch. Swiatek gets it, but overhits it. 1-love Sramkova. All right, Raducanu back on court. She's going to serve at this first set. She is not feeling 100% though. That is the issue. All right, let's see if Raducanu can get this set. I don't think her back was playing up. I think it was... she seemed to be like dizzy or something. She was getting treatment for sort of some sort of energy issue, I think. As we return now to the forehand of Raducanu. Forehand now from Wong. Goes out. 15-love. Love. Raducanu serves again. All right, Swiatek to serve. Rebecca may be tired from Strasbourg. Stop with the stupid excuses. Yeah, Weston hates Rebecca, so don't say anything about Rebecca. 15-love. There's a return from Wong. Goes wide. 30-love. 30-love. Raducanu 2 points away from the first set. We will be joining the Alcaraz match just a little bit later than expected. Raducanu serves. Into the front of Wong. Front of Raducanu to the backhand of Wong. Into the backhand of Raducanu. Wong with a forehand. Into the forehand of Raducanu as Wong gets a backhand. Again to the forehand of Raducanu. Wong backhand again. Goes out. 40-love. Raducanu with the 3-set points. By the way, Raducanu-Wong match is packed. You can't find a seat at that place. Okay. Swiatek, by the way, 40 love. As Raducanu serves. A let. As Raducanu forehand into the forehand of Wong. As Raducanu forehand to the backhand of Wong. Into the forehand of Raducanu. As Wong again to the forehand of Raducanu. Who hits a winner, Raducanu. First set, 7-5. There you go. Much better from Raducanu in that second attempt to win the set. All right. Raducanu 7-5. As Swiatek at 40-30, first game. Who is watching Raducanu over Rebecca Cam? Me. I am. Right now. 8 winners Raducanu, 10 errors. 18 winners and 21 errors from Wong. 3 aces from Wong, but the double faults from Wong really hurt her. 2 break points out of 6 converted for Wong and 3 out of 5 converted for Raducanu. And us, exactly. People in the chat. All right. Raducanu first set, 7-5. All right. Raducanu with the set. Swiatek, by the way, is a deuce. First game on serve here. She serves into the backhand of Sramkova. Backhand of Swiatek into the forehand of Sramkova. And Swiatek backhand cross. Sramkova gets on the stretch. Swiatek forehand open court winner. Advantage for Swiatek. All right, advantage Swiatek. But why? Why are we watching Raducanu instead of Rebecca? Because I want to watch Raducanu. Don't worry, if Rebecca wins, we'll watch her later in the week. Hopefully. Hopefully she wins, so we can watch her. All right. Swiatek backhand down the line. The forehand from Sramkova. Forehand now from Swiatek is a winner. And it's 1-1. All right. This channel loves Emma. Yeah, and so do the 900 people watching this. 895 people watching, because there's probably 5 people that don't like her, but are watching anyway. All right. 1-1. Navarro lost 230 points. Is she out of the top 10? She has to be close to out of the top 10 for that. She's currently hanging on to number 9. She'll probably stay in the top 10 unless like Mukova, Rebecca, or someone outside the top 10 gets good. But yeah, that is a huge loss. That was a huge loss. Me included. I'm here for Raducanu. We love Emma. There we go. There we go. Oh, you're included, Tori. Oh, sorry. It sounded like you were saying this. Like, oh, this channel loves Emma. Like, I'm so used to people being sarcastic about it when we watch her every day. But we're also watching Swiatek, so if you don't like Raducanu, at least you can watch, Swiatek. All right. Love 15. As with a backhand winner from Sramkova, 15-0. Emma is cool, but Rebecca. Yeah, look. I am one man. I am but one person. And I can barely watch 2 matches or 3. I can't watch. We can't even watch Alcaraz right now. Because we're watching these 2 matches. So I'd be loving to watch Alcaraz right now. But then the Raducanu is there too. I mean, I can't watch 4 matches at once. That's like ridiculous. Yeah. I do what I can with what I got. I'm one guy. One man. Trying to watch as much tennis as I can. They should have put her on yesterday when we had nothing to do. You know? All right, 30-15. As Sramkova serves a fault, second serve. Swiatek. We'll find out what her French Open looks like. I still pick Swiatek to get to the semis. 40-30. Oh, what a drop shot there from Sramkova. 40-15. Cam the one-man band. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm like... what's his name from Mary Poppins? What's his name? The chimney sweep. I'm Bert. When he's wearing like the drum and he's got the cymbals and he's like, and he's doing I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. I'm Bert from Mary Poppins. And I'm sweeping chimneys on the weekends. And I'm drawing art on the floor and I'm dancing with penguins. All right, 40-15. There's a return from Swiatek in the net. 2-1 Sramkova. She holds, keeps the lead. As Wong in trouble first game of the second. Yeah, the guy with the instruments. Yeah. All right. Raducanu with a break point. First game of the second. She wants to watch Carlos. Like we do. Don't worry, we'll watch him. Cam the chimney man. Yeah. That's it. Or maybe Alcaraz won't come on straight away because maybe his match might get delayed because they weren't expecting it to be on so quickly, maybe. All right. Advantage Raducanu. She hits the backhand into the backhand of Wong. To the forehand of Raducanu is Wong. Forehand into the forehand of Raducanu on the stretch. But Raducanu hits it out. Deuce. By the way, Chad, is the scoreboard legible? I stare at it all day. I just don't know what to do. All right. We're back at deuce. Sort of fault, second serve. As we just serve now, the forehand of Raducanu. Forehand from Wong to the forehand of Raducanu as Wong puts up a lob. Raducanu backhand into the forehand of Wong on the stretch. It's Raducanu forehand cross. Wong gets it on the stretch again. Into the forehand of Raducanu is Wong down the line. Raducanu gets it with the backhand but overhits it. And it's advantage Wong. Advantage Wong. By the way, Sramkova unable to get that one. Swiatek too good. 15 love. Rude, by the way, is up a set to break. I guess the good thing about Grand Slams is a best of 5 sets for the men. So if we don't watch the Alcaraz first set, we might still join it for the second and third and maybe even fourth set. So I guess it's not the worst thing that we miss out on the start of a men's match here because we could get... they're not going to be over quickly, are they? Straight sets wins are still, a couple hours. Anyways, one love Wong. So maybe it's not all bad. I don't like starting matches late, but today is it might have to be. Today is a day. By the way, Raducanu is up a break in the third. 2-1. 40 love, Swiatek to level. The return goes out from Sramkova and we get to 2-0 first set. Badosa and Osaka is coming on after the Swiatek match. So we need this match to finish. Alcaraz comes on and then we watch this one after that one. All right. Raducanu won the first set, serving in the second. Danny.
Appreciate very much for all you do for tennis fans. I'm a super fan of Alex Eala.
No worries. Thank you, Danny, the super fan Murillo. Appreciate it. We'll watch Eala play doubles, hopefully, as well for you this week. As that goes out by Swiatek, and it's 15 love. 15 love. And going to serve again from Wong. Who is it? Sramkova, 15 love. There's a return from Swiatek in there, 30 love. By the way, tomorrow we've got the match of the day. Tomorrow will be Hurkacz versus Fonseca. At least on paper it is. That'll be the big match tomorrow. Okay. 15-0 here as Wong hits a backhand long and it's 30-15. $30-15. As Sramkova goes, the backhand of Swiatek, but it's double fault from Sramkova. 30-0. 30-15. Raducanu serves. Is Emma okay? Scoreline suggests she had some issues, sadly. Are you talking about Emma Raducanu or Emma Navarro? As the return goes out by Wong, and it's 40-15. Eala is partnering up with Zara Zuha, I think. I think that's her opponent. Her partner, sorry. 40-30, lovely drop shot again from Sramkova. She has got that in her bag of tricks. All right, 40-15. As that goes out by Wong, and it's 1-1. Raducanu holds. Raducanu holds. Okay. And Swiatek gets the deuce in this fifth game. Sramkova serves. How does Raducanu look at the minute? She looks all right. It didn't seem like it was the back issue. It seemed like it was possibly like dizziness, I guess, because she didn't get any treatment. She just got like, they checked her like pulse. They checked her. They probably gave her some tablets or something, but yeah, it looked like she was maybe just like running, like had some energy issues maybe. Which makes sense when she hit that serve and she kind of staggered around. It wasn't about the back. It was probably maybe because she was dizzy or something. But again, she'll if she has taken something for it, she'll get more energy as it goes along. 40 love for Wong. And Sramkova also has a game point. As it'll fall now from Sramkova down the line goes long. We're back to deuce. As Wong holds 2-1 in the second. Sramkova trying to stay in front. Cam likes Raducanu, Kazatkina, Eala. I wonder why. I also like Alcaraz, Sinner, and Djokovic, Shelton, Demonor, Swiatek. I wonder why. Nadal, Leighton Hewitt, Ash Barty. Like, what are we doing? Backhand to backhand rally. Is it a forehand now from Swiatek? The backhand of Sramkova. Backhand now from Swiatek. The backhand of Sramkova is Swiatek backhand again. The backhand of Sramkova. Into the forehand of Swiatek on the stretch. Sramkova forehand down the line. That's a great shot. Man, Sramkova's playing well. Advantage Sramkova. Advantage Sramkova. Advantage Sramkova. Rebecca's in trouble. She was winning. What happened? Let's also not forget that you also don't like Draper. Untrue, but, feel free to cry more. Okay. We're back to douche. Swiatek hits a winner. As we serve again from Sramkova. Long game, this one. 6 minutes. As the return goes in the net from Swiatek. Sramkova advantage. Also, Wong love 15. By the way, Alcaraz's outfit sucks. I just saw a photo of it. Why? It looks... And it's not his fault. He's just wearing what they gave him. His outfit stinks. That sucks. That outfit... It looks horrible, chat. It's a black and white, stripy mess. I don't even know what that is. It's horrible. Anyway, Sramkova holds. That might be the worst. And I love Alcaraz, and I think he's great, and he deserves better than that crap. Give him a custom outfit. Why is he wearing that garbage? Oh, come on. What an ugly outfit. Outfits are good normally. Yeah, I own all of his Grand Slam winning outfits. I don't want to own that one. That one I want to pass. I want him to win the tournament, though. Not in that, because I'm going to have to own that. I don't want him to own that. It's green, not black. Oh, that makes it so much better. Did you say it was green? Oh, that's much better then. I love it now. It looks terrible. It looks worse than a football outfit. It looks like it just looks crap. What a terrible outfit. I hope he wears the opposite colors tomorrow. I didn't mind the red and the dark if it's green, right? I don't mind that. The red one, was it passable? That one's just not it. That's not it. That's just not it. It's horrible. Chad, I'm not the only one who thinks that, right? I don't think, I'm not the only person. You all think it's great, and I think it's terrible. We're on the same page, right? We all both think it's terrible, right? Anyway, it's 15:40. Wong, about to get the break here. She hits a forehand into the backhand of Raducanu. Into the forehand of Wong. Wong hits it out, 30-40. Nike just don't care anymore. No, they've actually got, if I look at their outfits, I think he just chose the worst one. There's some that are okay, but not that one. That one is why? What are you doing? The red and the brown is okay. It's passable. There's a red and green one, and then there's a bunch of plain ones, but he chose the one that was if they put a collar on it, it might be better. It just looks so cheap. That's what it is. It doesn't look... It looks... It's going to be $150 or $90, but it just doesn't... the crew neck just does not look... It doesn't look like Grand Slam clothing. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like a tennis shirt. It just looks like a basic shirt you'd... it's so cheap looking. Anyways, 3-1 Wong. She breaks. They definitely made the women's outfits look so much better. like with the collars and the Raducanu's outfit's great. I mean, Sabalenka's is great. You know, Wong as well. I mean, they're all like the women's outfits are way better. They put a lot more effort into them, but the men's outfits like that, and Alcaraz wore the worst out of the three. Like, it's not even close. It's bad. It's bad. It's just so basic. It's giving me Temu vibes. Yeah, it's just so basic. Alcaraz deserves better. Hopefully, Sinner's wearing some like custom stuff, right? He looks like Wes Waldo. All right, 40 love Swiatek. She tries to level this second set. They did Alcaraz dirty. They got to start making Alcaraz some Rafa-like gear. Great pickup by Sramkova. 40-15. They did Alcaraz dirty. Nike, give him a bloody raise. All right. Cam watching WTA over Alcaraz. Yeah, look, if you complain anymore, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. All right, Swiatek overhits it, and it's 40-30. Also love 30 here for Raducanu as she tries to break back. And Swiatek serves into the back end of Sramkova, and that goes out. 3-all first set. 3-all. Rafa wore some duds over the years too. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Rafa's outfits were still iconic, even though they might not have been the best. But Rafa's outfits were unique to him though. That's the thing, right? Like Rafa's outfits were his own. Like no one else. Like it was a Rafa outfit, whereas Alcaraz's outfit, there's probably gonna be about 5 players wearing that. They shouldn't, but they will be. You know. All right. 15-30. Raducanu wanting the break, and she gets to 15-40 to get back on serve. As Wong serves. True, Carlos deserves his own kit. I agree. If that was Alcaraz's kit and only his, I would be probably less. I would be less worried about it. But because it's like that's what every male player is going to wear. You know. I would make an exception if it was his outfit, and you'd be like, oh, okay, bad choice, but also at least, you know, it's his custom outfit. But it's just their Roland Garros line this year, and it looks tough. All right. We get the deuce. Raducanu can't break back. 15-30 though. Swiatek's looking for the break. As we return now to the backhand of Wong. Backhand of Raducanu. The backhand of Wong is Raducanu slice. Into the backhand of Wong is Raducanu backhand. Again to the backhand of Wong. Into the backhand of Raducanu. Raducanu hits it out though. Advantage Wong. By the way, anyone who... all the Alcaraz fans, apologies. Actually, no, you know what? I'm not apologizing because it's not my fault. This is not my fault. This is the fault of the organizers. Blame the French Open. Because they put Alcaraz on at this time. So I don't want to be blamed. I'm not taking blame. But we will be watching Alcaraz after this Raducanu match is over. So we will get there late, but we will get there. Don't worry. We're not missing Alcaraz. We're just missing the first set, maybe. And it's 4-1 Wong. She's up in the second. It's Navarro's fault. Look, Navarro didn't help. But the organisers should have put Alcaraz on later. And then it would have helped. Because I tell you, after the Osaka-Badosa match, there is nothing to watch until Sinner at nighttime. Like, it's all afternoon, we're just sitting around doing nothing. So they should have put Alcaraz on. I mean, they didn't want to clash with the Gasquet goodbye party, but they should have put him on third. They should have put him on thirds on this court, on whatever court he's on. But we will be watching Alcaraz, don't worry. We'll get there. We'll just get there a little late. Monfils plays tomorrow, I think. All right. Swiatek's still looking for the break, and she hits a return winner. Advantage, Swiatek. Dasha got roasted in comments on her interview about living in Barcelona. What, in her own video or what? I think you got to remember that a lot of people are upset that Dasha left Russia. So a lot of people that are going to be saying stuff about Dasha in the comments of social medias are probably feel like she ditched them. So you've got to think of it like that too, right? Like, a lot of people are probably coming from a place of pain because she decided to play for Australia. So you got to understand that that's probably where some of those people are coming from. Probably most of those people are coming from that. They're probably coming from a place of they wish she didn't leave. You know. Anyway, Sramkova hits it out, and it's back to deuce. Yeah, it's it's a personal thing for sure. But yeah, it was the best choice for her in her life, and yeah, even if she wasn't playing for Australia, I would still be happy for her if she was playing for like Spain or something. Like, you know, for her way of life and the way, and you know, her livelihood, it's much better for her going forward as well. Not just like tennis wise, but for her post career. When she finishes her tennis career, you know, at 30, whatever, when she finishes that, she'll have a place that is safe, that she can live, that she can do, you know, she can, I mean, I don't know what she's going to do in Melbourne after she retires, but maybe she becomes a commentator, or maybe she works for Tennis Australia, or, you know, she'll have like so many more options, right? Anyways, love 30 as Raducanu tries to avoid a double break and hits a winner, 15-30. Like, long term, Dasha moving to Australia and representing Australia and being Australian is better for her. Because if she retires and goes back to Russia, who knows what could happen? You know, it's not safe. You know, it's not a safe place for her. 15-30. As we get a fault from Raducanu, second serve. Swiatek, by the way, trying to get this break, and she does. 4-3. Swiatek takes the break. It's a long set, though. All right, Raducanu trying to avoid a double break and smacks a winner down the line. All right, 15-30 all. Much better for Dasha to be Australian? Yeah. But Dasha doesn't have Australian citizen, just permanent residence, right? Yeah. But because you can't get citizenship after one day of being an Australian. You have to, I think it's like 2 years. You have to live and be in Australia, reside in Australia for like 2-3 years before you can even, I think maybe it might be even 5 years before you can get a citizenship. So you just don't get a citizenship because you say, I want to be Australian. You can't, that's not how it works. Like, I can't just go to America and sit there for 3 weeks and go, oh, now I want to be an American citizen. Like, that's not how citizenships work. 30-40. Break point for Wong for a double break. As we serve now the backhand of Wong, and then Raducanu hits it in the net. 5-1. Double break. And how can she represent Australia without being a citizen? Anyway, good luck to her. Because the rules of tennis are a little different to the rules of life and the rules of government. Like representing a country is a little less. Look, it's not important, but it's a little less strict. You know, it's a little less strict than like, you know, coming to another country and being like, I want to be you now. That's way more of a process. She's not allowed to play Billie Jean King Cup though for Australia because their rules are different. They have a little bit more stricter rules to be able to represent a country. But tennis also isn't about representing your country as much as other sports, right? Team sports and other stuff, it's different. Tennis is not like, we're not looking at tennis and going, oh, we're watching, you know, the UK versus China today. No, we're watching Raducanu Wong. Doesn't matter where they're from, you know. It's only when it comes to team sports that, like, she won't be able to represent Australia until she gets, you know, boxes ticked, right? Whatever that is. But, yeah. And again, her moving to Australia and her being Australian is not about, it's more than tennis. It's not about her tennis. Like, she didn't just go, oh, I don't want to play here anymore. I want to play for that country. No, she did it because of outside factors, you know. I would not want an American citizenship even if they paid me. You're crazy. Are you serious? You wouldn't want an American. I would if they do it for free. You don't even need to pay me. 15:30. You crazy? You wouldn't want to have an American citizenship? That's crazy. 15:30. Right, kind of looking to get one back. There's a default from Wong. Second serve. What if Alcaraz loses and you missed it? If Alcaraz loses and I missed it, I'm going to ban you permanently so then we can all feel bad about each other. And our choices. How about that? I'll ban everybody in the chat. How about that? Is that fair? I'll take an L and we all take an L. For 24 hours. Scheduled out for tomorrow. Thank you. Let's have a look. Gauff. Oh, Monfils playing tomorrow night. I like that. We're not going to watch it, but I like it. Oh, Draper's playing. Oh, Djokovic. Gauff into Djokovic tomorrow. Okay. Zverev Tien's tomorrow too. Ooh. Interesting. Anyways. By the way, you've been timed out 24 times. Just so people know, people are listening. The guy that asked me that question has also been timed out 24 times. So something tells me that maybe they are being antagonistic. So just to give context, that person who said that 24 times timed out. So don't think that I'm just banning people for no reason. There are people that have been timed out a lot and don't learn. All right, Raducanu breaks back. 5-2. 24 is wild. 24 is wild. Hey! Thank you. Let's have a discussion for the 6 months. Appreciate that. Just watched Rafa's farewell. The best in tennis. Well done, Roland Garros. The footprint was incredible. Touch. Rafa the GOAT. I agree. All right. Raducanu gets one back. 5-2. All right, advantage. Swiatek to get to 5-3. As with a slice from Sramkova. Into the back of Swiatek. Back into Sramkova. Into the volley of Swiatek. And that's a great volley winner. 5-3. Out of curiosity, Cam, what would lead you to want American citizenship? Well, look, I wouldn't mind American citizenship or even British citizenship or a European country, just to have an option to be like, oh, well, I got Australian citizenship, but I could also live somewhere else. I could also do other things, you know, and then it doesn't have to be American. I just would love to have like dual citizenship, be it in the UK or somewhere in Europe or Canada or America. Like, I'd love that. That'd be great. I got timed out 20 times by Nightbot. Good one. Blame Nightbot. That's funny. That's a good one. I can check. I don't think Nightbot was around when you're getting timed out. So I love it. You know, blame Nightbot though. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Deb's like, that wasn't Nightbot. Deb knows. Oh, Deb knows. Yeah, you can't pretend. You can't fool us. Deb knows. All right, love 15. Swiatek trying to get this first set. And Sramkova to love 30. Love 30. As Raducanu, by the way, she's got one back. 30 love. 30 love. Raducanu fighting back slowly. You're very much welcome here, Cam. Oh, cool. I would love to have dual citizenship. Britain is horrible right now. Why? Is it raining? 15:40. Swiatek to take the first set. All right, 40 love, by the way, Raducanu. Also, Alcaraz and Zapiri are 2-1 first set, so we're not missing much yet. We'll get to them just a little later than I hoped. Sramkova hits an ace, 30-40. All right. 40-15, Raducanu serves. And Wong hits it out on the return, and Raducanu holds 5-3. All right, 30-40 as we're a backhand return now from Swiatek to the forehand of Sramkova. Then Swiatek with a backhand, cross-court winner. Lovely. Iga Swiatek, 6-3. That was strong. She takes the first. All right, Wong serving for the second set again. Rain is fine. British government is awful. Chat, where isn't the government awful? Like, I feel like right now you could probably go to pick every single country and be like, nope, 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 no. Like, if you base it on that. Like, we're not going to get political, but seriously, like, I feel like maybe it's, I don't know if it's worse than ever, but or maybe it's worse now in 2025. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like every country has its problems. No, there's no perfect place. Antarctica, that place is cold, and you might not survive, so that's not fun. Anyways, love 15. But I'm not leaving Australia because of the government. I just wanted the option to go live somewhere else that maybe was closer to other places or different weather, or, you know. My dual citizenship is not based on politics. I couldn't give a stuff. As long as the weather is manageable, but also like location for me. I like, you know, being in like Europe would be awesome because, you know, it covers a lot of places and I can go do stuff and see cool stuff and go to Iceland. I already been to Iceland. It's a little remote for me. It's a little far away from everything. Anyway, it's 15-30. As Wong tries to win this second set. As the return goes in the backhand of Wong, forehand of Raducanu, into the forehand of Wong. Again, the forehand of Raducanu is Wong. Again, the forehand of Raducanu on the stretch. He puts it down the line. Raducanu fighting back. 15-40. 15-40. Break points for Raducanu to get back on serve. As we have a forehand return. Goes out by Raducanu, 30-40. All right, 30-40. A fault from Wong, second serve. Second serve. Return winner. All right, Raducanu's back on serve, 5-4. That's weird. I've got dual citizenship, but I haven't been to the US in like 10 years. My siblings have, and some live there, never have the need to go back. Oh, look, that's fair enough. But I don't even have the option. So, like, you have the option, though. I knew a lot of people, right? When I went to the UK and lived in there, I knew so many people that lived in the UK but had never left the UK. And I was like, that makes no sense. Like, being remote in Australia, you just want to do, like, we want to, well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that want to, like, see the world because it's so far away. But then when you're like right next to everything, you probably just, I'll just do that next week. Like there's no urgency, right? But I noticed there were so many people that I met that were like, yeah, I haven't really traveled that much. And I'm like, you live like in Europe. There's like a lot of places you could visit. And you haven't left once? And they're like, no, I've never left. Well, that's crazy. That's insane to me. That you were so close to like so many historical things. But that's coming from someone who lives halfway across the world and doesn't see nothing because we're so far away. Like you take a 4-hour flight, you're still in the same place. Like you don't even leave Australia at 4 hours. I mean, you can go to New Zealand in 4 hours, maybe. But like you go 3 hours north, you're still in Australia. So I mean, if you got dual citizenship and you don't, but you can use it any time if you want. Maybe it's just maybe it's like that. Anyway, it's 15-40. Sramkova with break points. You don't have to travel far to get to different countries. It's so cool that way. I love it. Yeah, I think it's great. All right, 15-40. Sramkova to break first game of the second as we get back into Sramkova sliced. Into the slice of Swiatek. Sramkova back in down the line. Swiatek's going to get there with a forehand and hit it out. Sramkova breaks. 1-love in the second. All right. Also, Wong trying to break to win this second set. Then visit India and China, two of the most historical old places ever. I've been to China. China was great. All right, Raducanu with the forehand. Into the forehand of Wong. Back in Raducanu. Volley from Wong in the nets. And it's 15-0. Hurkacz Fonseca, last match on court 7's a choice. Yeah, what the hell? By the way, Alcaraz is up 4-1 with a break. In his match. So why is Alcaraz and Alcaraz? Why is Fonseca and Hurkacz on court 7? Is it because Haddad Maia is also there, and they're trying to keep like a thing? I mean, Zverev, Tien, Draper, Bellucci. I understand Djokovic and Monfils being on center court. That makes sense. Mute versus Tabor is Simone Matu. Nori Medvedev is first match of that tournament, that thing. I mean, no, look, chat. Oh god, it always comes down to Draper, doesn't it? No disrespect to Draper, but don't we think that Fonseca Hurkacz could be there instead of Draper versus a random Italian? Like, does Draper have to be on court 2? I mean, he's the number 5 seed, I get it, but it's like Zverev Tien, I get. That kind of has to be there. Number 3, former finalist. couldn't Draper be bumped to Simone Matu instead of Medvedev Norrie? And then you put Hurkacz Fonzie on that spot? And Medvedev, look, Medvedev Norrie is an interesting match, but that's probably not that shouldn't be on a main court. That should be bumped. That should be reversed with Hurkacz, I think. Don't come at me, Draper fans. I don't need your smoke. All right, 40-15. We're watching Raducanu. Give me a break. 40-15, Raducanu to level the second set. She says a fault second set. By the way, Sramkova's 2-love in the second. As the return goes in the back of Raducanu, Wong comes in, puts it away. 40-30. 40-30. As Raducanu serves again to level. Serve again, Raducanu. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Wong. Return the back of Raducanu. Sliced. Wong. Forehand winner. And it's deuce. We get to deuce. Alcaraz is cruising, by the way. We get the deuce. As with a slice from Wong. Goes in the front of Raducanu. Wong with a slice on the stretch. And Raducanu puts away the volley. Advantage Raducanu. Advantage Raducanu. Advantage Raducanu. To level. She was down 5-1 in this set, by the way. Swiatek 40-love to get a game on the board. As with a fault from Raducanu, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Wong. Back in Raducanu. Into the forehand of Wong, who puts it away, and we get back to deuce. Swiatek 40-15, by the way. And the backhand from Raducanu. Oh, it's a winner. Advantage Raducanu. And we just serve now the backhand of Sramkova. Forehand from Swiatek to the forehand of Sramkova. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Then Sramkova with a drop shot. Swiatek gets there and Sramkova hits a lovely lob. All right, 40-30. And Raducanu, she hits it out, and we get back to deuce. Why does Roland Garros management still believe that women don't have the physique to play 5 sets? I don't think it's Roland Garros. And also, it's not their decision to make the scoring change. It'd be the ITF, who run all Grand Slams. But it's not as simple as whether or not they can physically play 5. That's not the issue. The issue would be Can we have 2 tournaments with best of 5 set play happening over 2 weeks? The answer is no. We don't have enough time in the day to play best of 5 sets, men and women. It's a time thing, right? I mean, we already struggle with half and half, right? So they'd have to make Grand Slams 3 weeks, probably. Or, the best option, is a hybrid method where you have the women from, quarterfinals onwards play 5, and the men from round 1 to 4 play 3 sets, and then the quarterfinals onwards are 5. So then we both have 5 setters, but we also have enough that we can play everything in the first 2 weeks, Because they can't play 3 weeks, because then what happens to Wimbledon? It gets pushed. So again, it's not as simple as can the women physically play? Because I think we can all agree that they're athletes and they can. But it's more of just how can you fit that many 5-set matches plus doubles and mixed doubles and juniors and whatever else into a 2-week period? That's the hard part. That's the hard part. That's the real question, right? All right, advantage Wong to get the set here. She's got a set point. All right, advantage Wong. As Raducanu serves. A fault. Second serve. Women can't play 5 sets physically. You don't know that. In fact, you're wrong, because they used to play 5 sets and they physically could do it back in the 80s and the 70s. Back in a backhand rally. Into the forehand of Wong. Wong hits a winner. We're going 3. Wong takes the second. Raducanu fights back, but it wasn't enough. 6-4. Yeah, the WTA Finals used to play 5 setters. And, there were some epics. Why you show women's match here when very rare people are interested in it? More interesting Carlos match going on. I don't like your tone. Anyways, 14 winners by Raducanu, 11 errors, 15 winners and 13 errors by Wong. And Sramkova, by the way, 3-1 up with a lovely lob. Sorry, very few. Is that what you're saying? I couldn't read it. All right. (3-1) in the second. Sramkova in the lead in the second. And we're going 3 with Wong versus Raducanu, so Alcaraz is going to have to wait. It takes time to adjust playing 5 sets even for men. Yeah, I know that as well. Again, that's an interesting conversation too, because I know that the argument is that women can't play 5 sets, they can't do it physically. But how often do you play 5 sets on the men's side anyway? If you're 200 in the world, you're not playing 5 setters every week. You're not playing 5 setters every month. You'll play 5 setters once a year, maybe. So, I mean, that's interesting as well, Mike. You bring up an interesting point. Again, anyone who thinks that the women can't play 5 sets, I mean, yeah, you're right. The men can't play 5 sets sometimes. It's just that they get an opportunity to, I guess, practice and learn because they play matches in 5. But Fonseca, before this year, he hadn't played a 5-set match, best of 5 sets, until the Australian Open. He played 1, and then he played a 5-setter in the second match, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's... Again, I don't think it should be a question of physicality and whether or not players can do it, because, like I just said, players that are 300 in the world don't play 5-setters maybe once in their career, right? And we're talking about best of 5, not 5-setters, right? Just because it's a best of 5 doesn't mean it goes 5. It could be 3 sets, right? And the women play 3 sets all the time. Look at this. Raducanu Wong, 3 sets. Right? So saying that they can't play best of 5 is crazy because they might not have to play 5 every day. I mean, look at Draper at the start of the year. Played 3 5-setters in a row and then had to retire against Alcaraz, right? So, yeah. The best players in the world struggle with that, adjusting to that, right? But yeah, I think it's more of just a timing thing. I just don't think they have enough time in the 2 weeks to be able to do it. 30-15. Swiatek down a break. 30-15. Different workout routines. But like, I mean, I don't think that like all the ATP players are like practicing for 5-setters every week though. Like, I don't think the training and the gym work for the men's game is more intense for 5-setters because they rarely play them. I don't think there would be much training. I mean, again, everyone individually on the men's side has their own training regime anyway, so it's not like all the men train the same, right? And the women train less or anything. It wouldn't make sense for them to all be training for 5-set, like best of 5-set matches every week because they're not going to play them every week. And when they do play them, the 1 or 2 times they do play them a year, because if I look at Alcaraz, for example, 2024 Alcaraz, I'm going to guess he played about 5 5-setters, maybe, but he wouldn't be training for playing 5-setters. Yeah, okay, he'd be training endurance so he could play long matches, 5-setters included, but all these athletes are training to play 3 hours plus because they might have to. Remember, the other week, who was it? Zhang versus Gauff. They played for 3.5 hours. You don't think they could play 5 sets? You don't think Zhang versus Gauff could be 5 sets? Of course they could play 5 sets. Shelton versus Sonigo last night, 5-set match went for 3.5 hours. It was the same time as that Gauff match. And that Gauff match was 3 hours, 3 sets. So, again, there's no, like, it doesn't make sense to bring up physicality because there's players that can clearly play 5 sets in the women's or best of 5 because they play long 3-setters. Just like the men play short 5-setters, right? I mean, it's interesting when we get to like 4 or 5 hours, how would it look, right? We don't know. We don't know if Gauff and Zhang in over 4 hours could sustain, or 5 hours. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see if what we get of that. Because, Alcaraz and Sinner, last year's French Open semi, they got to a point where they were both cramping. And it wasn't at 5 hours. It was earlier than that. It was within the 4th set. They like hand cramps for Sinner. Alcaraz's legs were going, right? It wasn't because they were playing 6 hours like Djokovic and Nadal. It was earlier than that. So again, I don't think it's a question of whether or not the ladies could because of the physicality. It's not about whether they could. It's whether or not, just like any player who we don't know about 5 sets, like Draper, when we saw him at the end of last year cramping, we're like, oh, can he play long matches? Fonseca at the start of the year, when we're like, we haven't seen him play a 5-setter. Could he do it? I don't know. Every player is going to have their problems over a distance of time of playing tennis anyway. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Like, it doesn't matter. So I don't think we should even generalize that. It's crazy. Some players are really going to struggle in best of 5. Yeah. So they do it on the men's side too, right? Anyways, Raducanu, love 40. But it's a great question. It's a great conversation. I hope we get to see 5-set women's tennis in our lifetimes because I think it's great. I think it'd be awesome to watch epic 5-set semifinals for ladies. I think that would be sick. 2 sets of love down comebacks on the women's side. I would love that. I would love to see that. That'd be so sick. Anyways, Raducanu breaks 1 love. All right, 1 love. In the third, Raducanu. Swiatek tries to break back. She gets to love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Hey, IR, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Ladies should have finals in the five-set finals. I agree. I think five-set finals would be a great start because it's not going to crash into any other matches because the final's on its own day. So, yeah, I would love to see five-set finals for the ladies. At least that. I don't think there's any harm in that at all. Except for maybe, you know, the step up from like best of 3 to best of 5 might be a bit of a interesting mental, you know, like, you know, you got to switch, you got to switch over your mentality a little bit differently. But I think a five-set final will be really fun. Swiatek gets a return winner. We're back on serve, 3-all. Casper's cruising. Yeah, Rude's about to win the match. Alcaraz won the first set 6-3, by the way. Hello. All right. Now, Carlos is cruising. As Raducanu lets the ball bounce into the forehand and goes into the backhand of Wong. Raducanu forehand into the forehand of Wong on the stretch. As Raducanu forehand again. Into the forehand of Wong. Down the line of the backhand of Raducanu. Raducanu in the net. 15-all. I'll tell you what, Chad. I know that people are asking why are we watching Raducanu instead of Carlos, but I'll tell you what, this match is much more interesting than the Carlos match right now. Carlos is cruising and this match is close as hell. Swiatek, by the way, 3-all. All right, 15-all as Raducanu serves again. Apparently, Sinner's never won a match over 4 hours. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But see, chat, we always have this conversation during slams, obviously. But it comes down to this. Do the ladies want to play 5 sets? Because I don't hear them talking about it. And if they don't want it, and the tournaments don't want to change the rule, it won't happen. You know? If there was players that were advocating for 5 sets, then maybe the tournaments would think about it. But no players said, I want to play best of 5, at least that I know of. It's mainly just us fans that are, like, there's obviously the people that want equal pay, blah, blah, blah. But then there's people like me who are just like, I just want to see it. I just want to see your 5-set finals. So then the finals that aren't an hour long, right? I want to see a long final if we can get that. I mean, the best Grand Slam finals are the 5-setters that we remember, right? I would love to see a epic 5-set finale for the ladies. 40 loves Swiatek. But if the players aren't asking for it and the tournaments don't want to change it, then it won't happen. Nothing will happen. Thanks for the commentary. I'm doing crazy thing watching Alcaraz and listening to you with 2 matches. Yeah, that is crazy. All right, Raducanu, 30-all. All right, 30-all. As Raducanu serves again. As a return goes to forehand of Raducanu. 4 now from Wong to the backhand of Raducanu to the backhand of Wong. Wong hits it out. 40-30. All right, 40-30. Swiatek, by the way, holds 4-3. If women can run ultra marathons, I'm sure they can play 5 sets. Yeah, if saying like 5-set best of 5 is too much for ladies, they don't change the length of a marathon for men and women, right? They don't change other things, like other disciplines, that I can think of off the top of my head. But like, we're talking about endurance, right? If it's too much endurance-wise, marathon runners don't run shorter distances. They do the same distance. It might be not as fast, right? But we're not playing men versus women. It's women versus women, men versus men. It's just a length of time thing, right? So I don't think saying it's too much. It's like they'll adjust. It's their job. They're professional athletes. Like they will adjust. For the one time they might play a 5-setter, because there's no guarantee you play 5 sets, right? It's just like the players that play 4-hour 3-set matches, right? Haddad Maia versus Tormo, right? Those matches, those players can do it, right? I mean, you'll adjust. It's part of tennis is so physical anyway. Like, it'll just push them a little bit harder than they have before. But again, it's the one time that you play a 5-setter, right? I mean, you don't play 5-setters every single week, every single round. All right, love 15. Raducanu's got the break here. 2 love. And a double fault from Wong. Love 30. So Rude gets the win. Anyone picked Rude to win the tournament? Also, Nishioka retired against Popyrin. That's a shame for him. He's had a lot of injuries lately. Quarters winning at the moment. Raducanu, love 30. Swiatek also love 30. Also, Veronika Kudermetova wins her match earlier today. She might be a sneaky chance. You got to watch out for her. All right, 15-30 here, Raducanu. Trying to get a double break. And Sramkova's trying to avoid a break here in this set. $15-30 as we got a fault from Wong, second serve. As the backhand return goes the backhand of Wong. Wong on the net, 15-40. Raducanu, double break point. I'm not for best of 3 in the men's slams. It'll be impossible for historical comparisons. Yeah, I don't think men's best of 3 sets for every round would be. I think that'd be crazy. I wouldn't like that. Because you're right. How do we justify? Like, how do we compare slams then? Right? Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, you could argue that if you change the women's to best of 5, that also, how do you compare Serena's slams to 5-setters? But then you also go, well, what about 2-week Masters? Rome and Madrid are much harder to win now. Does that change Rafa's? Does that change what Rafa did? No, but it's also something to talk about. Because now they're going to play, like, winning Rome is way harder now than it maybe was. Because you have to play more matches, you have to, 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Also, though, we could go back to in the day when they didn't play tie breaks. And it used to be win by 2 back in the 60s and the 50s. Are those worth more than today's slams? Like, it's hard, What about the slams that don't have tie breaks at the end? In the 5th set tie breaks, and those ones that went 20-18 in the 5th, are they worth more if you win those matches than a tie break the 5th set, right? There's a lot of little things we could nitpick, I guess, about it. But I get what you're saying. I don't think best of 3 should be throughout the entire slam. That'd be crazy. Because then what makes the slam special then? On the men's side especially, as we get a backhand in there from Wong. 3 love. From Kovac still down break point here, 30-40. That's why I am for the hybrid method. First 3 rounds, best of 3. 4th round onwards, best of 5. Both men and women. First 3 rounds could wrap up in a couple of days, and then best of 5 from the 4th round onwards. Half and half. I like it. I think that's a good, nice balance. And then by the end of the tournament, we get those epic 5-setters, not just on the men's side, on the women's side too, though. Those potential 5-set matches, Chad, don't tell me you don't want a Swiatek versus Sabalenka 5-set match. Come on. You know you want that. You know you want to see a Swiatek Sabalenka best of 5 semi-final at the French Open. Anyways, backhand rally. Sramkova goes down the line. The forehand Swiatek sliced into the backhand of Sramkova. She puts it away. Especially this year. I want to see it this year. French Open. Change your rules right now. Change your rules. I want to see Swiatek Sabalenka semi-final. Best of 5 sets. I think we need it. I like that idea. Yeah, it's not my idea. It's kind of, I think some people in the chat had heard that idea, and I'm like, that's actually cool. A cool idea. I think it hopefully makes the majority of people happy. Sort of, ticks every box we can tick, Anyways, Sramkova into the forehand Swiatek to the forehand Sramkova. Swiatek down the line, win up. And it's back to deuce. Do you think one of the slams will make the change first, or would they have to all agree? They'd all have to agree on it. Because it wouldn't make sense if one slam made one change and the others didn't. It's different with scoring because, the scoring wasn't as... I mean, the US Open always had tiebreak 5th sets, and the other slams didn't. So it wasn't as big of a deal when they changed it. But, yeah, if one slam had best of 3 sets in the first 3 rounds and then best of 5 after, it'd have to be the entire... All the slams would have to be on that page. You couldn't have... Because then the one slam that did do it would be so different from the others. It would just feel so different, I don't know if it would be made that one slam look worse or make it look harder and better. I don't know. But if they only experiment on one slam, it would be crazy. All right, forehand net on the line. The back end of Sramkova. Back end of Swiatek. The forehand Sramkova. Into the back end of Swiatek. Sramkova back on the stretch. And to the back end again from Sramkova to the back end of Swiatek. Again, the back end of Sramkova. Into the forehand Swiatek. Sramkova back end again. Is a drop shot, but it's in the net. We're back to deuce. We don't want to see you falling apart, trying to commentate forever. It's just not fair on you. It's fine. I'll be fine. That's why I want best of 3 sets for the first week of slams when there's lots more matches. So, like, from a personal point of view, if we had best of 3 sets in the first week of a slam and then best of 5 after that, it would make my job a lot easier because best of 3 can finish like that, right? 1 hour over. Sometimes they go 3 hours, but second half of the tournament, I'm expecting to have 5-setters, but there's less matches. So it kind of means that the tournament's a little bit more even spread for me because most of the matches we watch will either be easy wins for the best players or some upsets, which are close. Second half of the tournament, best players in the world playing each other, 5-setters. But there's only a couple. You know what I mean? First week, I'm watching 30 matches. Second week, I'm watching half that. But the second half is more because there's more. Does that make sense? Is that making sense? So it wouldn't wreck me. It would probably be better for me than having to watch 5-setters in the first round, which brutal. No, by the way, this is not my opinion because I'm based on my streaming. I'm not saying I want this for me. I'm saying I want this because I think there'll be run. Actually, no, I am saying it's for me because I want to see 5-set finals in the women's. All right, Swiatek breaks 5-3. It is for me because I want to see 5-setters for the ladies. All right, Swiatek's going to serve the match. Evolution doesn't wait for everyone to change at the same time. Yeah, I think if we're ever going to get anywhere with this conversation, it would be one Grand Slam decides to do a 5-set final for ladies. That's it. And I'll tell you what, it might not be as crazy as you think because a 5-set final for ladies would generate a lot more revenue if it does go for 5 sets because it could be 5 hours, broadcast would be longer, means that, they can play ads during the broadcast and stuff like that. I mean, a 1 hour women's final is not going to be as good as a 5 hour women's final, right? So I feel like it's more likely than not that we're going to get a 5-set final in a Grand Slam at some point because it is maybe financially beneficial for the tournament, maybe. You know what I'm saying? At least for the broadcast, it's beneficial, right? The longer they're on, the longer they're on TV, the better, right? Especially when we start getting these like sub 1 hour finals, which are just over in 2 seconds, and we're like, oh, that was boring. Like that doesn't help the sport either, right? So I feel like it might not be the whole thing changes in one go, but maybe we get one tournament, say we're going to do a 5-set final for the ladies, and it has to be financially beneficial for the tournament to make that determination. Though, if they're not going to gain anything from it, they won't do it. But I feel like it could happen. All right. Raducanu, deuce. She's got a double break here, 3-love. Let's get back to these matches. We've had our one conversation, our big conversation about 5-set matches. Now we can get back to the tennis. All right. Raducanu serves. Into the fort of Wong. Back at Raducanu. Into the fort of Wong as Raducanu fought at the stretch. Wong gets it. Again, the fort of Raducanu, who hits it wide. Advantage Wong. And Swiatek 30-15. 2 points away from victory. As we get a forehand from Sramkova goes long. 40-15. And Swiatek's had to fight back here in the second set. But she is at match point to take her spot in the second round. And let me do some quick math. 22 wins in a row at the French Open. Not at the venue, but at Roland Garros. 22 wins in a row. The streak continues as she serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Wong gets one of the breaks back, by the way, 3-1. Serve is a double fault, Swiatek, all right. All right, Wong gets one back. (40-30), Swiatek with a second set point. (40-30). Match point number 2 for Swiatek. 7 to the back in Sramkova. Return goes back in Swiatek. Oh, an Iga in the net. Deuce. Now switch the conversation to DVDs. No, not yet. We're going to do that later in the week when we have less to talk about. All right. Great body serve, Swiatek. And she gets a third match point. Alcaraz, by the way, is 2-0 in the second. Again, when Raducanu Wong finishes, we'll chuck Alcaraz on as well. Swiatek serves match point number 3. And she serves Sramkova in the net on the return. And Swiatek wins 3-3. Good fight back in the second too. She was down a break. And she fights back to take the straight sets win. She'll now take on somebody. She'll now take on the winner of... Oh, the winner of this match. Oh. How convenient. She'll take on the winner of Wong Raducanu. I didn't even know that. I'm an idiot. I should have known that. Why didn't I know that? What the hell? Yeah, she's going to take on the winner of this match. This is so relevant. Chat, everybody who asked me why we're watching these matches, because they're playing each other in the second round. That's why we're watching it. That's why we're watching it. Well, that's why we're watching it now. I've just made that up now. Now we're watching it for that reason. That's so crazy. How did I not know that? I must have bumped my head. Anyways, Raducanu will play Swiatek if she can win. But Wong is fighting on as we get a back in from Wong. That goes out 40-30. We're going to merge the streams, though, now that Swiatek is done. We've got Badosa versus Osaka coming up as well, so keep that in mind as well. But we'll merge the streams at the end of this game. 40-30. Raducanu backhand return, the forehand of Wong. Into the forehand of Raducanu. Wong with the forehand of the stretch goes out, and we get to deuce. You need to retire, Cam. Okay, bro. You need to be nicer. What do you do for work? Maybe you should stop doing that. Because you're not... You made a mistake once. Chat. People that don't have profile pictures can be really rude. Anyways, jump on over. Jump on over if you want to keep watching Raducanu, but we'll be watching Osaka versus Badosa very shortly. Swiatek wins. Straight sets, 3-3. A little bit of a fight in the middle. She's going to play the winner of this match, so if you are a Swiatek fan, maybe you do want to stick around and see who she plays, because Wong and Raducanu are still going. But she's in the second round. Swiatek's streak continues.